Celebrate the summer peach harvest with a simple, easy-to-make dessert.
Today, we're going to show you 2 different desserts you'll think are just peachy. Our producer, Michelle, wrote that, and I approve of that introduction. Joining us now, personal chef Bill Collins, chefbill.com. She's so peachy, so are you.
Thank you, and ditto.
Thank you.
It smells so peachy over here.
It's very peachy.
Peach galettes. I had no idea how to pronounce it because I've never heard of it or made it.
It's the easiest thing in the world because actually a galette technically it's a flat cake or pie, kind of a cake kind of thing, but we're using a pie dough, which most people do. And think of, a lot of people get nervous around making a pie, having to make it shape perfectly. This is such a free-form, rustic kind of thing. It's easy, great tasting, and everybody loves it.
Great. I'm going to switch places with you so that you can roll out the dough because I think I will fail.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to let you do that.
Well, first of all, we've got some fresh peaches here,
Yep.
and the big question a lot of people have is how do you peel a peach? And when they're this fresh, just take a paring knife and just kind of go around and it comes right off.
Like you're peeling an apple.
Exactly, like peeling an apple. Or I know grandmothers can do this with their eyes closed in one fell swoop, but it's that simple.
No, you know how grandmothers can do it? They can peel the whole thing without it breaking once.
Oh, exactly.
Every grandmother ever does that.
And it's a skill. They teach them that in grandmother school. So what I have here is I've got some sugar, I've got some tapioca, and I've got some salt.
Tapioca flour or just tapioca?
Tapioca, like the tapioca pudding.
Really?
Like, yep, and because that serves as a thickener. The reason being this is a little bit moist, and that way it won't be really drippy like a pie. So we've got that just like that, and now we're going to roll out the dough.
Okay, here we go.
Does that mean there's going to be little tapioca, like the little balls in there?
Not at all. It's all going to dissolve, and you would
good.
never know. So you won't chip a tooth on the little tapioca bits in there.
Okay, good.
So really, all you want to do, and now apparently I found out you can buy pie dough in the supermarket, but on the one offhand chance you want to make it yourself, and it's really, really simple. But just make it and just roll this out.
And I heard that you were going to have your recipe online.
Yes, the recipe for it, and actually you can do it in a food processor as well. It's that simple. And you just want to roll this out.
What's the thickness we're looking for roughly?
I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch. So you want to, you can almost read through it, but you don't have to. But if it's a little thicker, a little thinner, no one will really care.
Exactly.
And
it's rustic.
Is that rustic? And actually,
which is just another word for, you know, I can make it slovenly.
Completely.
Yeah.
And especially if you're new at this kind of thing and you're a little unsure of your skills, and that's why I'm rolling this out in a very non-round manner just to show how easy it is.
Now, I want to make sure everybody at home focuses on Ashley right now, because you were just peeling that peach like a champion.
No, I wasn't.
Like you would make your grandmother proud.
That's what I was trying for.
And it's working.
So yeah, we're taking the peach cam right now.
I'm not proud. So you want really ripe peaches, right, Bill?
Well, actually, yes, but they can be a little bit mushy, and because this time of year, the rest of the year when you get them like peaches from elsewhere in the country and they're hard as a rock, then you either have to use a peeler or drop them in boiling water for a minute, then ice water, peel comes right off.
That's a whole thing.
But now, because we did it on the flour, how do you get this onto there? Fold it in half gently, fold it in half gently again, and lift it right up.
Oh, that makes it so much easier.
And same as though you're putting it in a pie plate, and voila.
Oh.
It's that simple.
That's why I love video segments. Then you can see. Because when you read a recipe, if I were to just read it, I'd be like, well, what am I supposed to do now, you know?
Isn't TV great?
TV's great.
Oh, TV says it all.
Yeah, in your face radio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, try describing this. So now, you pour it on there.
Oh, wow.
And just pop it in. Now, if you want, you can arrange them artfully in the middle so you have a nice little swirling pattern. Now, I've got too many here, but you can never have too many. And really, all you're doing is you're pulling it up, pulling it towards the center.
It's like a knapsack.
Exactly, but actually, if you do it this way and fold it over, so there's a little rhyme or reason to it.
Oh, there we go.
This is exploding with peaches.
It's exploding with peaches. Too many peaches? Whoever thought I'd ever say that?
No, usually it's millions of peaches for me, right? That's the song.
I knew that. No, I didn't. And so, as it breaks apart like that, you can just pinch it together because it is just raw dough.
Yeah, and it's just rustic too.
Completely rustic.
I'm gonna put some extra dough on there for you.
And, I thank you.
There you go.
And just take an egg wash, and so it's just a beaten egg, and that'll help make it nice and golden.
Okay.
And sprinkle a little sugar on, and it's ready to be baked in the oven.
Okay.
And it goes about 400 degrees.
For how long?
About 20 minutes or so.
Easy enough. Now later we're going to make another peach dessert, is that right?
Yes, we are. We're going to be making a peach version of Bananas Foster. And it's so...
Are we going to be lighting things on fire?
We are going to be igniting our breakfast.
That's all Seth cares about, is are we lighting things on fire?
I love it when there's fire on the show. It's that little intrigue that I love.
It's called Pyromania Cuisine.
I should probably talk to a therapist.
We're back with personal chef Bill Collins from ChefBill.com. Earlier we made a Peaches Galette, which is right here, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now we're making Peaches Foster.
Peaches Foster, it's a variation of the classic New Orleans dish of bananas Foster, because peaches are here, and actually we don't have any local bananas. So it's a geography problem. Have our best people working on it, but until we do have bananas growing locally, we're going with peaches.
I like it.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. And so it's actually very, very simple what you do. You start with something light and healthy, like half a stick of butter.
Good.
And melt it, and then what you want to do is just add some brown sugar.
Oh, good. I was nervous it wasn't healthy enough.
No, because why not take something that's healthy like fruit and then turn it into, well, candy?
Exactly.
So just going to pop that in there.
Now we're going to let the whole thing caramelize together?
Yeah, this whole thing's going to caramelize together. You can hear it sizzling around, and really what you're just doing is melting, dissolving the brown sugar. It goes rather quickly.
Oh, it smells so good.
And, well, you know, butter and brown sugar, it's actually the perfect food combination.
It's a comforting smell, right?
It is. It is. I mean, usually you think of apple pies and apples with this, but again, with the bananas and now the peaches. So it's just about all dissolved. We're going to dump in the peaches.
So you want them to be peeled. We learned how to do that earlier.
Yes, we did. And the reason you want them peeled is because if nothing more than just getting little bits of peel stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, you want it to be a pleasant experience.
Exactly. You don't want to sit there with a toothpick saying, what a great dessert. So you just, and actually because the peaches are so fresh, they're going to be nice and soft. And we're going to get some bubbling going there with the brown sugar and the butter.
I could eat it just like that. I mean, done.
Yeah.
Give me dessert.
Yeah, but then you're missing the booze.
You are, because what we're going to now do is we're going to set our dessert on fire. And there's some simple ways of doing it, because you can do it and burn down your house. That would ruin any evening, and it would, you know, your guests would have a more memorable experience. What you want to do, and here's how I do it.
The worst idea.
I always keep the lid nearby.
Stand by your pan.
Stand by.
Folks.
I
Goes
like
without
that.
saying. Yeah.
Thank you. And I always like to do it with a fire starter instead of a match. Also, if you have a hood vent fan above the stove, turn it off.
Okay.
Because that could pull the flames up.
Oh, and I have a lot of hairspray in my hair.
And so,
We'll do a switcheroo.
oh, what could possibly happen? We're not going to get that kind of a whoomp, but
You know, better safe than sorry.
And actually-
I like my eyebrows.
And if this were a gas stove, I always tell people pull it away from the off the flame so you don't get splattering off of the alcohol.
Or
but in
a
this case,
fireball.
exactly, or Molotov cocktail. But in this case, so I'm just going to add just a little bit there, and I always keep the lid nearby.
Now, what's the purpose of setting it on fire?
Well, it burns off some of the alcohol, which some people think is a good thing, but also it's a great show.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat it. I'll join in.
Yep. And so sometimes the alcohol sinks right to the bottom, and so you might get a big whomping flame. Now, if you're very uncomfortable with the flame, just put the lid on, because the oxygen will be shut off and the flame will go out. That's why always have this at the ready, because if you have a match in one hand, you're trying to do the whole thing, you can't control it. That's why one of these is $1.89 is a safe and fun way to go.
Definitely.
By the way, you got all your ingredients at...
From our friends at Whole Foods in Hadley. They've got the peaches, the sugar, the brown sugar, everything. All the peaches, everything for today's galette, which we have right there, and the peaches Foster. I'm going to say bananas Foster.
It's easy to say. Should we try a little bit more rum so we can light this puppy on fire, or is it not going to work?
Well, let's try it. So,
should we let people in, too, on what happened while we were scrambling just a couple minutes ago?
Sure.
Here's the thing, everybody. We were supposed to be doing this segment a few feet away, but we had a technical difficulty, so we had to move it here. And now, we do this.
And... you know, what also happens is because sometimes it sinks right to the bottom and you don't get the flaming. Or also what can happen is it's so light and bright in here, you can't see the light flames.
Oh, that's what it probably is.
And that can often happen.
But you know, this is a great cooking lesson. Sometimes, you know, it's going to taste great regardless. Sometimes you don't need all the pomp and circumstance.
Right, and now, and there's so much rum in here. This dessert's going to have to go into rehab. So it's just one of those great things. We've got some great vanilla ice cream to go with it. We've also got some freshly whipped cream to go with the galette in both of these. So I think we should try out some desserts and.
Let's plate it up, Chef Bill.
So why don't we cut the galette?
Okay.
And I can move this cutting board out of the way.
Thank you. So do I cut this just like a I've never cut a galette
Like
before.
a pizza pie.
Just like a pizza pie. You're doing exactly right. What you're doing right there is a lot of people cut one little wedge. If you cut it into quarters like that, you can get exact sizes that you want.
I also hear my mother-in-law says it's bad luck to not cut a cake or a pie in half. You always have to cut it in half first.
Well, you know, I look at it as it's kind of a
Equal
technique
portion,
thing.
right?
Equal portions. But see, that's why it would be bad luck, because then somebody wouldn't get some. So you say your grandmother that said that?
Oh, my mother-in-law.
Your mother, she's absolutely right.
Very smart.
So now, lemon. Is this for something?
I was going to squeeze some on top of the Bananas Foster.
Okay.
And that was really all. And we've got the galette.
Okay.
I'm going to reach down here for a fork.
Oh, that lemon gives it a nice little zing.
It
I like
does.
That. Thank you so much. By the way, if you want to get this recipe and any recipe, we have so many on our website, mymassappeal.com. And if you missed anything from today's show and you want to watch it again, what you do is watch the CW Springfield. That's at 1 p.m.
Come and galette it. All right, there you go.
I like that.
Were you waiting also
Yeah,
long
yes,
for that
I'm
one?
so excited.
I wish I
All right,
got
stay
that.
tuned for 22 News at Noon.